saying, some
are swirling that Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston are having an affair, and that is the real reason that Michelle has been MIA. The real reason that she didn't attend Jimmy Carter's funeral, and the real reason that she's not attending the Trump inauguration. I had no idea that this is a rumor that's been going on since October, and that they were even on the cover of In Touch magazine. I guess I was too preoccupied with the presidential election. But I guess back in October, Jimmy Kimmel even asked Jennifer about it on his show. Watch this.
Do you ever worry about that? Like, for instance, this is a magazine that came out a couple of weeks ago. In fact, said the truth about Jen and Barack.
That was of all the calls you get from your publicist where you're just like, oh no, what's it going to be? Or the email saying, some cheesy tabloid is going to make up a story, and then it's that.
Yeah. Does
I
your
was not
publicist
mad
ever
at
go,
it.
like, is there any truth to this?
No, that is absolutely untrue.
Well, I know it's not true.
Yeah.
I just don't know if everybody knows.
Well, it is untrue.
Oh yeah, Jimmy, because we're all taking your word for it. Could it be possible that America's sweetheart could turn into a home-wrecking villain? Because we all know everybody would take Michelle's side. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of
it. First of all,
she better have her legal affairs in order, because if you gonna make a statement like that, you better substantiate it with something, because you know they got the legal team just sitting there just rubbing their hands like Birdman.
Hey, for real.
Personally, I wouldn't touch that one. Look, what I'll say is this: it's very easy to tell whose marriages are strong and whose marriages are weak. I can with confidence say that that's a weaker marriage.
Yeah.
I can with confidence say my marriage is a stronger marriage. But
yeah,
stuff like this tends to start happening when you see these weaknesses. Now people are going to start poking and digging.
Yeah, you got to look at these marriages, and out of both these, well, 3 marriages. So we got the Trump marriage, you got the Emhoffs, and then you have the Obamas. And this is a crazy thing with Kamala, is that she is on. I guess it's not a record, but she has a high turnover on her staff. And that's the conversation that most people did not want to have. They try to suppress that information, but she had an extremely high turnover of staff. People saying that she was hard to work with. And so I can only imagine, how that is when she's at home. And anytime they had photos or family gatherings that they posted, it always seems staged. It always seems like it was kind of fake and manufactured. So I mean, I would not be surprised if they end up getting a marriage, but most politicians just don't get a marriage. Even like I said earlier, the Clintons didn't get a divorce. Politicians at this level, I should say. But I would be surprised if they do get a divorce. I'd be even more surprised that, after leaving, after the whole Brad Jelena thing, she went to Barack Obama. That'd be wild just for her to be she would never go to work in Hollywood, because for whatever reason, Michelle is untouchable. And Michelle's claim to fame is school lunches. Like, I don't know what it is. And she was supposed to be the person that was supposed to step in Kamala's role, because people were like, we should get Michelle to do it. No, your wives cannot do it. Most politician wives cannot do it. And for some reason, people thought, hey, Hillary did it, and look how that worked out. Kamala did it, and look how that worked out. Michelle couldn't do it. I'm on the belief. I thought it'd be, probably be highly contested. Nope. Michelle would not have won.
I'm on the other side with. So I think it was admirable that she took that initiative on, because the food that they feed kids in public school is pretty trash. I'm fine with her accepting that. And generally speaking, first ladies take on some type of cause and start advocating for something. But I want to pivot back to Kamala real quick. I just posted an article from NBC. Do you know that she's had the highest employee turnover of anybody who's ever run for president ever? 92% since 2020.
Yeah, you would think you would think that'd be a conversation that most people would bring up, but they don't bring this stuff up, though. They never bring this stuff up, because it would have looked bad for Kamala. And that's why I have like the biggest issue with a lot of these news outlets, because they just constantly lie. So I knew it was a high turnover rate, but and I guess at the before Biden, before he stepped out of the race, there were some complaints about Kamala, how she was hard to work with, but people suppressed that information. Black social media did not want to hear this conversation, and white liberals are too afraid to say anything bad about Kamala. And again,
TR, you want to guess what color the majority of the employees were that were complaining about her?
oh, they're
This
white.
is this is this is for the pro blacks. You want to guess what color they were?
Oh, black. Yeah,
They
black.
were black. The majority of the black employees were complaining that she was difficult to work with.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so pro blacks. What's your response to that?
Yeah,
What's
no,
your response?
they're gonna be quiet. They're definitely gonna be quiet. They
Yeah,
don't want they never want to have that conversation on. They always talk about how Trump and the people that worked with him, that everybody was trying to dish tea, like, oh, everyone came out and said negative things. What about the people that they want to work with Kamala? Actually, I remember, I think Pink Book did a video on something related to this. So yeah, Kamala was hard to work with, and it shows in how people didn't want to work. People did not want to elect her. She could not get men on board. And then the people that they had people with the worst marriages, Obama and Michelle. Well, it remains to be said they have a worse marriage, but this is not a good look. That I forgot about the funeral, but yeah, she wasn't at the funeral and she wasn't at the Trump, and whatever BS excuse they want to say, MLK Day, or she didn't feel welcome or something, like, you still have to show up for the inauguration. Like, I hate when people try to say, well, because MLK Day, that's why she was doing it. No, you can still do an MLK event later that day, or you can go do something else, whatever it is. But you have to be at the inauguration. You are in the presidential royalty. You have to be there, and she wasn't there, and that makes Obama look weak. He was already weak from trying to convince black men. And remember his famous line, "I'm gonna get Michelle on y'all to get the men in check." And he was
bro,
talking to
that was
black
such a
men.
beta statement to make. That was so beta, man.
Yeah, and that's why old girl was like, "When Michelle, you need." That's why she was looking at that, because everybody know who run that household, and we officially know who run that household.
Man, can we get some masculinity back in the Democratic Party, please? Who's up
No,
next over there?
they're gonna have to napalm it. There's
Because
no way.
they shot themselves in the foot. They made this election an all-out assault on masculinity, and it came back and it bit them in the ass. What
Yeah,
you gonna do? How you gonna fix this, Dems?
yeah. We don't
How?
we don't have it on the topic list, but there was a woke bishop, female woke bishop, that was pretty much trying to take shots at Trump at a sermon, at a prayer sermon. You're supposed to do a prayer, not get on your soapbox and talk about your politics. But maybe that's a conversation for another day.
I want to close on this too because we didn't shift it slightly to politics, but I need y'all to understand something. She fumbled the Teamsters union vote, which has always been a lock and seal in for the Dems. But do y'all know why or how she fumbled that? As I try to fix my blurry camera, look, she walked up to the head of the Teamsters, put the finger in his face, and said, "You need to get in line."
Yeah,
That's not how you win votes. That's
yeah,
that's not how you win votes. All right, I'm going to fade out and fix my camera real quick.
yeah. And just to talk about that, you're gonna have a lot of. I think women try to overcompensate when they're trying to lead men, and that was pretty much the problem with Kamala. And I can only imagine when if they had put Michelle in there, I think they would have lost way worse. I mean, of course, you would have the black community supporting her because they got to get in line. But I think she would have alienated more men from other races from voting for her. Like the Dems and the Diddicrats, they don't understand how to win this race. Like it's really not that hard, but they're gonna find out in 2028. Uh, you know, they're gonna lose another election. So
Yep, and it's not just black men that are walking away. The acceleration rate of the black women is going up too. So a lot of black women are seeing it too. So
yeah,
again, that's your most loyal voter base, Dems. What you gonna do?
exactly. All right, next topic.